The types of girls in a South African school, part 2. We exceeded 10,000 views on part 1. I know you guys like that shit. Okay, let me lock in. Okay, let me lock in. Okay, so at first we have one of my favorites, the social media fanatics. So I broke down the social media fanatics into 3 subtypes: Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, depending on which platform they overly use. I'm not gonna sugarcoat on this one. The Facebook girls have to be the worst out of these 3. They're loud, violent, get low grades, some of them, lack ambition, and vile. Okay, I didn't mean to take it that far, but you guys get my point. Nothing good comes from those girls. If they're not at school, chances are they decided to accept an invite from their transport driver to do whatever they want to do, because I mean, the age of consent in South Africa is 16 years old. So who am I to have an opinion on that? Then we have Instagram and TikTok. Can't believe I'm saying this. TikTok has all the fine shit compared to Instagram. Now, before you fight me, let me educate you on the difference between fine shit and a baddie. Fine shit is beauty that speaks for itself, regardless of what the girl's character is or what she's wearing. Now, a baddie, on the other hand, is a character trait that has to rely on a certain dress code or character to keep the baddie title. In other words, fine shit can be a baddie, but a baddie cannot be fine shit. End of story. I don't want to argue with you guys. But these 2 girls are usually quiet in real life. Super loud on social media, slide in their DMs, they instantly add you to their close friends. Like, you know, we just started talking a week ago, right? Some of these girls don't even try to impress people in school. Like, you can low-key find a girl who's so unneat in school, thinking she's not all that, until you find different countries on the Instagram highlights. At number 2, we have traditional healers, sangomas, or chakrahans. I'm not discriminating anyone's beliefs, so please don't take this in a bad way. But I've never met anyone who represented you guys in a good way. And I've met a reasonable amount of people to make judgment of that. You guys behave in the interesting and yet funniest way that is beyond dramatic. Like, you guys dare us be doing anything except listening to your ancestors. I find it funny how most of your calling happens when it's time to write an exam. And some of them are mad pretty, but I'm afraid of someone who's heavy on spirituality. Knowing all my deepest, darkest secrets, I'm being deadass though. I have skeletons in my closet. I really be on that though. Are you gonna subscribe or join them? Anyways, they're really generous people, if I have to be honest. But I don't know, like I said, everyone I met misrepresented y'all. Because I used to just gaze at y'all and just wonder what goes on in your head. Because when it comes to expressing yourselves, you guys are really good at it. It even got to a point where I caught feelings for this other girl, but that's a story for another time, okay? And most of these girls usually have bad grades, like bad grades. But I guess if they get good grades, it'll look suspicious. Like, I mean, stereotypes, okay? You know how people are. Speaking of low grades, at number 3 we have low grade bookworms. Look guys, I don't know why I'm sounding so negative about every girl I'm talking about, but trust me, I don't even have a type. Let's just call a spade and just move on, okay? I know I mentioned bookworms in part 1, but hear me out. I actually understand why these girls get low grades. The books that they're reading are just pure brain rot. I'm talking books that are probably rated 18. Books that should be rated 35. The books these girls read are just full of unsettling romantic stories. The fact that my high school had these books in their bookshelves really has to be under investigation. Like, I'm sure they're not supposed to be in school bookshelves. And no offense to the girls who actually read thought-driven books or any books besides from the book I mentioned, because I really need a girl like that as a lifetime partner. I really enjoy being around y'all. The rest of y'all really need some help. The fact that y'all managed to keep straight faces looking locked in while reading these books, it's just one of the funniest things to see. They eventually end up outgrowing the phase and move on to reading thought-driven books. After that phase, I mean, I put them on my top 3 if not 2 of my types. At number 4 we have the everything has to be about career goals. Out of most groups, this group is always diverse in terms of all ages and races. Not gonna lie, I would have been cool with you guys if you didn't expect everyone to be a K-drama diehard fan like yourselves. And if I'm being honest, you guys might be worse compared to anime fans. And I have a high boredom tolerance when I'm with anime fans compared to K-drama fans. And I hate the 2 with a passion. You can dare shoot the cleanest shot to a K-drama fan and she will tell you, I'm sorry, I'm only into Korean guys. You do realize that you're in Africa, southern of Africa, the bottom end of Africa, South Africa. You have to cross over 10 countries to get to your... Why am I yelling? Block.
Stupid ass questions.
And you cannot have a decent conversation without them trying to sneak in some Korean words. And they act like they expect you to understand what they're saying. Poor acting skills and the wackest reverse psychology I've ever witnessed. At number 5, we have the impulsive crash outs, literally having zero communication skills and trying to spark drama with anyone they dislike. The only time they're not impulsive is when it comes to choosing their victims. They usually choose people who will not retaliate with the same energy. If they're not in an altercation with any students, one of the teachers will be a victim. Literally one of the worst characters one could have. Thank you to each and every single one of you who liked, viewed, and commented on part 1. I literally read every single comment under that video. And some of you guys have the funniest comments. Some of you guys have the sweetest comments. It really means a lot to me, to be honest. I'll be putting out more videos as soon as possible. I've been so busy lately, I barely had time to make videos. We are currently at 700 subs by the time of editing this video. I know we're most definitely hitting 1,000 subscribers soon. Thank you guys so much.